Good morning and welcome to episode 5 of Two Less Thumbs of a console gaming podcast. Joined here again, as usual, by our good friend Dawn of the Den. How you going, mate?
I am good. How's yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. What have we been up to the last fortnight?
Just breathing, upright breathing.
Breathing upright? That's a start. I've been doing the same thing myself, and I've found it's really good for my health. Yeah,
I'm addicted to it. I can't let it go. So with the drop of Hellblade on Xbox,
Yes.
finally the people over in Microsoft World get to enjoy that gem of a game. I've decided to start replaying it, and holy smokes, I forgot how good that game was.
I've not looked at it yet.
It's a game that you have to play with a headset.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't care how good your home audio system is, you have to play with a headset. It's absolute, because the premise of the game, you're a young lass,
Yep.
set in some weird Asgardian place, who's out to find her lost boyfriend. That's the basic premise of the game. But it's a journey through her mind and her own inner turmoils and hell, to find him and let him go. So what you have here is the main character, Senua, has a few mental problems, and she has a shit ton of voices going on in her head. All her fears, her doubts. We've all got those inner dialogues, but these things have become real and they're audible. So every time there's a pressure situation, you've got 4 different people talking at you, doubting you, telling you you're going to die, and all this sort of stuff. And it's just an absolute. It's very hard to describe the game until you've been inside it.
That sounds really full on.
Yeah, man. As I said, as far as the combat and everything goes, it's one of those, I call them action-like type of games. Very few combos. Combat's pretty predictive and everything else like that. But you're not doing it for that. It's
very heavily story-driven.
Yeah, very story-driven game. But even during combat, these voices are talking to you.
Right.
Some are helpful. You'll have one that'll say, behind you, and you can dodge. And you have a big gorilla come up behind you trying to squash you. But you got other ones, every time you get hit, they're just saying, oh, you're going to die. And yeah, it really messes with you. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, as I said, it was, and I see it's actually charting reasonably well over on Mixer as well.
Yeah, right. Well, it would be now. Now that it's on Xbox now.
So yeah, as I said, to all the peoples out there who haven't played that game, I really do recommend getting it into your library and finding a few quiet hours, put on the headset and enjoy it.
It's one of those ones. It was on my radar even when it dropped, but it just never made it onto my console. So even I think way back you told me it was on sale and I missed it.
No. So it had a studio. The studio's 20 people, I think. Ninja Theory, and you see what a game that 20 people have managed to produce.
I remember the names.
The quality, the comparison, because Mass was it Andromeda?
Yeah, Mass Effect,
Budget of millions, staff of thousands compared to 20, sort of thing. But as I said, it's absolute hats off to Ninja Theory for what they've managed to deliver and the story that they've told.
Yep.
So as I said, I think I've been a fanboy of that. Me as well. I've been. We played a bit of Trackmania. So we had a run at that. That was a fun little game.
That's a cool little game, that one.
I dived into Mortal Kombat 10 and been grinding the shit out of Destiny 2 in a previous week, trying to get a hand cannon to drop from Nightfall's specific loot.
I hear that's been a bit of a battle for you.
Yes, I played 31 Nightfalls.
31 Nightfalls.
Yeah. To get it, so we were just speed running the thing.
I would have thrown my PlayStation and or Xbox by then.
So as I said, it's a damn good hand cannon, and as frustrating as having to run it 31 times and still not have no dice, it was good to have something to grind for in Destiny 2, not just be given it.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do. If I got to 10 and I didn't have it. That's a bit much.
They still, having said that, yes, I agree. They need to adjust their drop rate algorithms that reward player time.
Yep.
The time investment that the player puts in.
Exactly.
They've always struggled with this, to be honest, to find that sweet spot of not giving you everything. But on the other hand, well, you've committed 3 hours to this exercise.
Yeah.
You're going to have a damn good chance of getting this to drop over. It was a slot machine. That's what it was. It didn't feel like there was no bias on the slot machine. Some people got it. I ran with guys that got it on the first time they played.
Just pull the handle and hope you get it.
Yeah. I think I had another guy who's got it in the second run, and 31 runs later. And there's horror stories out there, like in the Reddits and Twitters. It'd become a bit of a badge of honor for people. They've done 50 to 60 nightfalls and still no loot drops. So I'm thinking, fuck man, I'm out at 30.
No, forget that.
So as I said, it's still a work in progress. That's and apart from that, probably not getting much sleep, staying awake at night, thinking of God of War, waiting for it to drop. So that's about my last 2 weeks. Yourself, man?
I've just been playing the usual, doing the Fortnite thing, doing the Sea of Thieves thing, getting a bunch of Forza. But I've been out of all those things. I think I've been playing more Fortnite, and it's become real fun. Just trying to get some wins up and all that sort of gear. I've been chased. What did we chase for about 3 weeks? I'm not the best player by any stretch. We were chasing wins for about 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden we got one the other night. It just came out of nowhere too. So that was really good. Pretty chuffed about that. There was a lot of noise when we finally got that win. And like I said, it literally came out of nowhere. We didn't even realise we were the last 2 teams. And
you cracked the Raspberry Founder, did you?
Yeah.
And went silly.
That's it. Just bounced off the wall. So we got it, and it was fun. Then we ended up getting, I think it was one the night after and one the night after that. So it kind of, we broke the dam, got through it, and just kept on rolling with it. So it was good fun.
Raining from the heavens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So we the pair of us jumped into Trackmania and Mortal Kombat. So Trackmania, like, for anyone, like, this was one of the freebies that you selected last week, last fortnight. That's a lot of fun with friends. Like, if you're I would say it's a good party game. Like, if you got a bunch of friends together, just having a drink and a laugh or whatever, that game is really cool.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. To be something you wouldn't be able to invest a huge amount of just like sit there and play time.
Yep.
Unless you love just trying to beat the clock.
Yeah.
But you add more people into it, and it instantly becomes a fucking laugh fest.
Yeah.
So definitely a good game with friends. Yeah.
And
all right.
Mortal Kombat, you absolutely wiped the floor with me.
That stream was a blast the other night.
For anyone that wasn't watching, Dan and I had a co-stream, and it was just an impromptu stream of Mortal Kombat. I think we organised it maybe half hour beforehand.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, right, no worries. So we got into it and had an absolute blast. It was hilarious. We had viewers sort of selecting who we were going to use. We had one dude hanging out the whole time, just providing us with fatality combos.
Yeah, man, it was our little Google. It was great.
Yeah, it was every time we'd pick a character, it'd be straight onto Google, finding out the combos, chucking them up in chat for us. It was good fun. It was real good fun.
And it was good not to have that 30-second lag on our chat either.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you, Mixer. Shout out for Mixer.
Yeah. No, and as I said, I think Bo Ray-Chi, I think his name was, has found has a place in my heart.
Oh my god, that guy farting all over me. Jesus Christ.
Does a big belly flop and gets up and drops his guts on the way.
That was hilarious, man. The first time I heard that, was that a fart?
Yeah. I was like, Static, was that you? I could hear that through the mic. No, it was for a game where you basically beat the shit out of each other and trying to eviscerate each other at any given turn. I don't think I've laughed so much in a long time.
No, and that
was good fun.
That Ferrator combo, that was something else. For anyone that hasn't played or doesn't know it, it's pretty much, it reminded me of Master Blaster from Mad Max, where it's got this big hulking giant that's not very smart and can't really think for itself. That has this tiny little midget riding on its back. Angry little midget riding on its back. And many times becomes a projectile weapon. It's pretty hilarious to watch.
Yeah, no, it was great, and yeah, look, hats off to the one of the Netherworld studios. They make a solid fighter game, don't they?
They do, yep. They always have.
It's sort of peerless in its own right, and I've played through the story mode. I'm a sucker for that, and yeah, even a campaign game, it was a good story. Not as, I wouldn't say as good as the like Injustice series, which is the other sort of fighting game that studio puts out. But obviously, DC has a much deeper writing team.
Yeah, that's right.
But but still great. Even the single player story campaign was a good experience. You get to go play, try out all the different characters and learn a bit of backstory about what's happening. So yeah, it'd be another game that I recommend. I think it was on special in PSN for like, what was it, $25 or something for the everything edition. Yeah,
the XL pack, which is everything. I think I picked up for just under 30. Yeah,
something like that, $27 or something. Yeah, Australian, of course.
Sounds about right. I found myself playing through that story mode and reflecting back on the movies. Did you watch the movies?
I think I only watched the first one.
Yeah, and the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, they should have just left the movies and done this game.
Yeah, because but that's movie games in general.
It was far above and beyond the movies. But just watching some of the fight scenes and the fight sequences inside the story mode there, it reminded me a lot of the movies. Like it seemed overacted and like poorly acted, I guess. Yeah. But it made me giggle so many times.
Which is what I like inside a computer game.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't necessarily like that in my movies.
That's right.
On that fact, we could have a challenge where you could list good game to movie conversions, and I think we'd struggle to get above 5. I believe.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah,
we might do that for another episode, huh?
Yeah, we've got to do some homework on that one, and throw the challenge out to our stream viewers.
Absolutely,
and like that. But there's not that, like, when they they've kind of trashed the Uncharted movie. I fucking cheered. So yeah, they're not going to ruin a franchise. Because you saw kind of what happened with Assassin's Creed, and apparently the new Tomb Raider movie is a bit of a stinker. And the old Tomb Raider movies were terrible. So yeah, you're like, oh damn.
I don't know what you're talking about. They were great when I was growing up.
Yeah. But you just put it on mute and put some music on it. And
now you need to put it on mute. Yeah, like, oh my god, I used to watch this.
That's it. You ever remember the Mario Brothers?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, see, exactly. Enough said.
Now I love that as a kid. I went and watched that. It might have been 8 years ago. Bad move. I should have left it where it was in the memory bank.
No, I've learned that. Just leave whatever was in my childhood can stay there.
Yeah.
What movie did I do that with? Oh, it was It.
Yeah.
That Stephen King.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. As a kid, that the clown terrified me. It was like one of the things that scars you as a kid. It's one of those movies that was so good.
That was Tim Curry, wasn't it? Played the clown in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched it now, and the scariest thing of the whole movie was the kids' clothes. Because like, fuck, I used to wear that too. Damn, that was terrible. Who wears an apricot shirt? Yeah,
the old Play-Doh drain, like shower drain and all that sort of thing. But yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
The old, I can't remember what the claymation,
stop motion animation. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, it's like, I should have left it there. I've still got to watch the reboot of that.
I haven't watched it myself yet. It's meant to be real good.
Yeah, I heard the same. So, all right, jeez, off track there.
Well, yeah, that was a fair tangent.
Yeah, take that bloody timeline.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get this thing back on the road. Okay, so we've spoken about Trackmania and its awesomeness.
Yeah.
Else like that. So
did we actually speak about it? We kind of mentioned it.
Good game with friends.
Good game with friends.
So
okay, good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
if you didn't get it for free, on it sucks to be you.
Yes. So it's an arcade style racer. Most of it's like time trial setup. So you're basically beating a clock. so it doesn't have multiple cars on the track at the same time. You're always racing by yourself or a ghost of yourself or friends.
Yep.
But yeah, as I said, yeah, throw a few people in and it suddenly becomes way more fun.
To throw a comparison out there so that everyone sort of gets an idea of it, I put it somewhere between Daytona and Rage Racer. You remember that game on the PlayStation? Man.
Yep.
Somewhere between there, not Ridge Racer, but Rage Racer. Somewhere between those, I put it. Yep.
Yeah. Right. No, that's a good fair comparison. And as I said, yeah, it's free, grab it, have fun. That's my recommendation. All right, so out on PSN this month, we ran through the freebie games last time, so I'm not going to touch on them again.
Can we just recap? We had
basically you had Trackmania, you've got Mad Max and Qubit, which funnily enough I watched Pixels, that Adam Sandler movie with the kids last week.
Actually, let's tangent again. What do you think of that movie?
It actually was fun.
It's a fun movie, isn't it?
It was cheesy, as all Adam Sandler movies are, and he acts without acting. Yeah. It was a really good nostalgic trip. It was like, I can remember, the penny arcade, the game arcades where you go in and, you used to have to feed machines coins. Like I live in rural Queensland, so I used to travel around all the creeks on my bikes finding unwanted soft drink bottles. That was when the bottles were glass. Yeah. And I'd collect up half a dozen of these things, take it down to my local corner store, go buy some red frogs, and with whatever I had left over, I used to play arcade machines. Yep. Because you used to get money for handing in glass bottles for recycling in Queensland 20 years ago. Now we live in the more enlightened age. We don't do that sort of practice anymore. We just let it rot. Yep. So so it brought up so many things, the cheat codes, it was good fun. Yeah. All right. Back on track. So we're back on track. So we'll jump into the PS Store. What's on sale in the PS Store this month? So digging through, there's some decent titles up there. The ones that stuck out for me was South Park Stick of Truth for $29.95 Australian. Those games apparently good little RPGs and a shit ton of corny South Park humor. Yep. So if you love fart jokes, that's probably going to be some $30 well spent. I've seen most of our viewer base. I reckon they're all into fart jokes. Oh man, I just giggle saying the words, so I'm screwed. Yeah, that's it. We have Titanfall 2, the Ultimate Edition, for $20. Right. I think the normal edition is about half that price. Yep. So I don't know what the difference between Ultimate Edition and Standard was. I'm just guessing you get a whole heap of Prime packs or something. I think you get some Prime packs and some Camo packs and all that sort of gear that originally cost around the $15 mark, 15 or more. Yeah. And the Prime Titans are good fun. Yeah. I usually, when I'm playing that game, I usually hang out and they always have a sale. Inside the game, they got sales. So when you see your favorite Titan Prime pack for down to $2, you jump on it. Yeah. To put my little bit in on that, I'm going to look straight at the camera here and say, go get it. That price is ridiculous for what you get. I'm an avid lover of this game. I think it is one of the only games that took me away from Destiny 1 for a good 2 to 3 months. Yeah. So, I'd have to say the same. It is. Yeah, we spent a lot of time playing it. The studio that made it was, I think, one of the old Modern Warfare studios. They were one of the original COD people. Yeah, Respawn. And so they know how to make a shooter. So the actual shooter mechanics flawless. Yep. You got the fun, like in the PvP mode, you've got the pilots, you've got the Titans. So you got this big swing between the fast, twitchy combat of the pilot, and then you have the big, slow, pondering combat of the Titan, the War of Attrition. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. And the campaign, it was untouchable. It was great. So yeah, for that kind of money, these games you're going to get a lot of value. All right. Continue. All right. Yes. Yep. We have Middle Earth: The Shadow of Mordor. Sorry. Game of the Year edition for $16.99. So this apparently was a really good game, but EA, it was released right around the time of the big loot box controversies,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure it tanked because of it. There was just some horrible stuff that went on. But apparently the game itself is pretty good. There are no loot boxes in it. I think they pulled all that stuff out and said sorry, and all that sort of thing. Same as what they did with Battlefront 2. But yeah, for $17, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you love your Tolkien, it's probably not a bad game to go swim in.
Yeah, it'd be money well spent.
And my last one is these games are based on a series of books. So it's a Metro Redux. So it's 2 games for $8. They were they're PS3 remasters. Essentially, it's set in the Russian metro, or the Russian subway systems after a nuclear war. And it's this, it's a it's an FPS survival horror based genre.
Yep.
So have you ever played these games?
No,
Metro?
never.
I'd almost recommend it. They've got a really good story. Yeah. Well, it depends if you want to spend $8 or not. Good stories, good gameplay. As I said, once again, for $8, you're getting 2 games, so it's $4 each, and the games are damn good. They got good stories because they're based on a good series of books. So
yep.
And if you want to read the books, go read the books because they were good too.
Well, if you look at that as like a time investment, I think if you get 8 hours of play out of that, that's money well spent. You know what I mean? Like if you look at $1 an hour, surely that's going to be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I said, there's 2 games, FPS campaign between 6 and 12 hours each. Yeah, you're working on 50. So yeah, good stuff. So there's some good bargains out there for PS, and there's a whole bunch of other games like EA Sports titles and all that sort of stuff there as well, if they're your jam.
Yep.
As well. So I'll hand you over to Xbox.
All right, with Xbox Gold, we have again The Witness, which was the Rhyme type spin-off.
Yep.
Again, I guess if you like that sort of thing, if you did like Rhyme, it's probably a good thing to go and check out. But I don't think we really need to, being that we did play Rhyme.
Yep.
And Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I didn't. This was these portions, I guess, of Assassin's Creed came out sort of back when I wasn't that much into gaming at the time, so I didn't get to check them out at all. What did you think of that? You played Syndicate, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
Yep.
It wasn't the best Assassin's Creed ever, but it wasn't terrible. It doesn't come close to Origins.
Right.
But it wasn't as bad as Unity, and as I said, I detested Assassin's Creed 3.
Yep.
I couldn't even finish it. I just could not get into the. I don't know what it was about that game, but I just didn't thrive on bouncing around the forest. I didn't even go near Unity, and I think from everything I've heard and read about it, that was a good thing.
Yep.
And I played Syndicate. I didn't mind Syndicate. The 2 main characters, as such, you get to pick and choose who you play as. They're 2 brother and sister.
Yep.
Sort of team, doing the assassin thing through London. So yeah, as I said, for free or at a cheap price, I'd definitely say pick it up.
Yep.
Is Dead Space 2. Where's that? Is that a freebie game this month, or is it heavily discounted?
But it's on 360.
It's 360. Because I was going to say that's definitely, because I've come across something. I'm going to say if anyone has a chance to play Dead Space games cheap, do it.
Yep.
They were good games. I can't wait for the next one. But I think they're not making any more. But so it's on 360. That's a shame. I was going to say pick that one up and have some fun with that game.
Yep. All right, and over on deals with gold, we have Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim for $24.98. I've not
taken it arrow to the knee.
I've not played it at all. That's pretty much all I know of it. But from what I've heard, that price is amazing. I got it free. I got it free with my Xbox. I gave it to my nephew. Even for free, I haven't played it. It's not to say it's a bad game. I'm sure there are many people that have told me it's great.
It is a good game.
It seemed to me from everything I was told that it was a time sink, I didn't have time for it at the time.
Yeah.
I want to say time once more.
Yeah, I threw 70 hours into it, and then I could realise it was running to the end of the fun arc of running around a map, clearing dungeons and stuff, and I think I finished the campaign in under 2 hours.
Right.
So definitely don't play it for the main campaign, but you want an open world game where you can basically, you just go destroy shit, clear dungeons, build good armor and weapons, and skill up. That's the game for you.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I had a ball, and who doesn't like bloody mammoths falling out of the sky on top of you? Typical the Beth Theater games. Every single one of them has glitches and holes in maps. It's what we expect from them. We'd be disappointed if they didn't release a game like that. So remember Fallout 4. So yeah, as I say, you just be running across a bit of a thing and then going, there's an enemy here somewhere, and then all of a sudden it just falls out of the sky on you. You got to look up, and there's mammoths and giants walking around in the sky. It's like, I shouldn't have eaten those mushrooms in the forest. Damn. So yeah, but yeah, good games, man. I enjoyed Skyrim much more than I enjoyed Fallout 4.
Yeah, I didn't. I put about 4 hours into Fallout 4.
Yeah,
it lost my attention really quick.
They put too much focus on building forts and not enough on gameplay, I think.
Yeah,
I was about the same. I didn't even finish the campaign on that one.
Yeah.
All right, continue on with the gold stuff.
We have Halo 5 Guardians at, well, let's just call it $42. I don't know. I didn't really keep up with the Halo series sort of after my break from gaming, I guess. That's sort of Halo 4 onwards just really didn't catch my attention. That being said, I'm told it's actually really good. For that price, it's down a little over $20, so it's normally $70 at this point.
It's nice, good price.
I've
never played any of the Halo games because I don't have an Xbox.
Have you not played one ever?
No, I actually don't think I've ever played an Xbox. That's how bad I am.
Right. I actually realised the other day, I'm more of an Xbox fanboy than a PlayStation fanboy. I've only ever owned, we'll say, 3 PlayStations, but one of them was just a smaller version of the original PlayStation 1.
Yeah. Which
was just a PlayStation. And then a PS4, but I've owned every single Xbox along the way.
Yeah. No, it's just one of those things. I'm thinking, well, yeah, no, I don't think I've ever picked up an Xbox controller.
There you go.
So it's nothing personal. It's just
There's also the Surge is $17.50. This game, when it came out, I remember seeing just a quick run through, like a playthrough video. A couple of, it might have been a month before it came out. I thought, man, this game looks really cool. But pretty much you're just in a like an exosuit running around killing bugs. What it seemed like. But I guess it's kind of, I never got to look at it, and looks like it's sort of fallen pretty far with a price like that. But I don't know. But it looked good. I just never got around to checking it out.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played that game either.
Yeah. We also have Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, the gold edition. Now that gives you pretty much everything. What have we got here? There's 8 different packs in this bundle. It gives you Season Pass, Ghost Wall Pass, Season Pass, all sorts. Narco Road. It's the Kraken Pack. That sounds amazing. Bear Patch. So it gives you everything for $53. It's $160 worth. Yeah, Ghost Recon. It's $160 worth of content for $53.
Bargain. And you want to watch a good YouTube clip about Ghost Recon? Go hunt down Mr. Fruit.
Mr. Fruit, yep.
Him and his team, they got bored.
Yep.
And they were just doing dumb shit, because you basically can, any vehicle in the game you can take command of and cruise around on it. So there's nerds were cruising around on tractors and just there's 2 guys hanging off tractors with guns and one driving and running over bad guys. And of course, he's a kind of a bit of a funny guy. And so they were just crying. I was like, one of the funniest things I see, because they just got bored with running around doing the serious missions, so they went and just they just went and had fun with their own shit, and oh dear, it was chaos but fun.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
We also have the Warhammer bundle. It is Blood Bowl 2 and Mordheim, City of the Damned. That is $38 or $37.50.
Nice. So I played Blood Bowl on PC.
Yep.
And it's actually a pretty, I can't comment on Blood Bowl 2, but Blood Bowl 1, it was actually a pretty good translation of the board game. So for those out there who don't know, it's this game was based on a tabletop miniature sort of board game where you got to play 2 fantasy football teams against each other. And I played the PC version, and it was good corny fun. You know, the stupid humor that was injected through the board game and translated across very, very well.
Yep.
Down to the point, I think you even had cards that you played. You know, your cheat cards and all that sort of stuff. I think
right.
That's the way they even handled it in game. So it was good fun.
Yep. That's pretty much it for that. There's just more additions for those games I've already mentioned, really.
Nice. All right, sounds like some good bargains out there, people. And we probably just went and spent next week's bait for you.
There you
go and
You're welcome.
Follow all their recommendations, but you get some good value in there.
Yep.
Yeah, about 6 months of gaming and for $100, so go for it.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on to game updates. Okay, we will talk. Okay, Destiny is Destiny 2. Sorry, not OG Destiny. All right, so in this space we keep getting small tinkers, small updates. It is so refreshing to see that these guys are talking and doing things. So 6-man Rumble is back. And wow, is it much better than 8-man Rumble?
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, there's still some spawn trapping issues.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are the maps like? Because they're still a small map, aren't they?
Yeah, there's only 6 people on the map, so it's not terrible. But and it happened in D1 too. A good player can still spawn trap other players. Yep. But that's going to happen in every single shooter. But what I found is that I wasn't spawning in next to another player.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these maps normally have 8 on them anyway, don't they?
Yeah.
You
So
know what I mean? Like,
as I said, for 6-man Rumble, the maps felt good. That wasn't an issue. It's the chaos and everything that you expect from Rumble, but it was with the 8-man, it was the spawning thing that was bad.
Yep.
The maps just weren't big enough to handle having 8 people running around all trying to shoot each other as individuals, because usually these maps were designed to have 8 men running around in 2 teams of 4.
That's right.
So you could, so as I said, what I found with 8-man
running around together.
You were spawning in next to other players, and basically if they didn't see you, all you did was turn 90 degrees while you're spawning and kill them.
Yep.
Or if you didn't turn 90 degrees, they kill you, sort of thing. So it was, 6-man was way better.
Yep.
As I said, it was players were spawn trapping, but you weren't spawning next to other players. So it was a good change, a very good change there. So the changes to Iron Banner. Iron Banner is now 6v6.
Nice.
My initial thoughts were going to be, holy shit, this is going to be crowded. But I will be honest, it is great to have 6s back. It feels good. Even the maps, the comments that the D2 maps are much smaller than the D1 maps. No real issues.
Yeah, right.
It's good chaotic fun. It was good to jump back in Iron Banner 6s and play it. Didn't notice a big change in the connections. So obviously the algorithms they're using for D2 are superior to the ones they had last time. And as I said, if you're thinking about it, I'd recommend just jump in and have some games of Iron Banner 6s. It was good, very brought it all home. And the last thing, I touched on this a bit earlier, that the Nightfall, they've brought in strike specific loot. The RNG formula does need to change, or needs to be adjusted, I would say, not changed. Needs to be tinkered with, adjusted to reflect time invested instead of the slot machine.
Like you're saying, like 31, did you say you were at?
Yep, 31.
31 Nightfalls, to me is too much.
Yeah, and I was kind of like in the average. Most people said, between 20 to 30 runs to get it to drop for them. So it sounds a bit high.
I'm just not doing a Nightfall that many times.
Yeah.
End of story.
The hand
So
cannon was worth it.
I don't get the thing.
Yeah, the hand cannon.
Did you get the hand
And
cannon?
no, still don't.
No.
I've got to wait for it next time. It
So
hasn't affected me.
it's-
I wasn't raiding the other night with
Yep.
3 members of my fire team just rubbing it in my face that they had this awesome hand cannon that seemed to just no. Everybody was very nice about it.
Yeah, I bet Winky was very nice.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
he was a gentleman.
So that loot is tied to a specific nightfall.
Yes,
Each time
yes.
that particular strike comes around as nightfall, you can get in and get at it. Yeah.
That's it. You can't get it running the heroic strikes or anything like that. It's nightfall only.
Yep.
So yeah, you can't just grind the shit out of a strike just to try and get it.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good reward system. It needs some tinkering.
Yep.
I'm not that salty about it. I had fun. You know, I think I helped people. 4 or 5 people get it. So that's what I do. And the other one over in Destiny 2 world is that since the Go Fast update, there's a whole bunch of weapon rebalances and stuff like that.
Yep.
For people out there, go mix your loadouts up. You'll be surprised that some weapons that were trash before are actually pretty good. I used the Darcy Sniper versus Callus the other night, Thursday night when we did the raid.
Yeah.
And the Darcy Sniper nearly is competing against a rocket launcher for damage.
I was gonna say, was that a dare or?
No, I've seen a YouTube clip where a team had 2-manned it, and they nearly single phased him, and they were using the Darcy. And I thought, I'll give this a crack. Apparently, linear fusions are absolute beasts.
Yep.
Etc. So yeah, and I think just on the horizon, there's a whole bunch of exotic weapon tuning going on. So if you're anywhere near Twitter or anywhere like that, I even think it was in the TWAP this week. They've got some clips on what they're doing with exotics, and they should feel exotic.
Yeah.
I think the 3 they've thrown out there is Graviton Lance, the Skyburner's Oath, that terrible Cabal scout rifle.
Yep.
So now it's turning into 2 different fire method. For example, it goes from being a hit scan, when you ADS, it's a hit scan scout rifle.
Yep.
And when you're hip firing, it's more like a explosive round grenade launcher.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's actually got travel time and all this. So it looks fun.
Yep.
It has the explosive round effects. What was there? There was another one in the middle. We know about Sunshot. Oh, Rat King. So the Rat King sidearm.
Yep.
They're putting the damage scaling up for the rate of fire up. Sorry, not damage scaling. They're putting the rate of fire up to reflect, the perk that it has. The more people that have it in your fire team, the better it gets.
So is that
they're pumping up the rate of fire. Not too sure. Not too sure there. And so to make sure that people can actually, if you're like me, I can't use sidearms effectively in that game because I can't push the trigger fast enough.
Yep.
So what they're saying is that, okay, we've got this. So to make it more usable, it's also going full auto. So not only, so now you've got this thing that goes, the rate of fire goes through the roof. It also is full auto. And I think the clip they had to demo it was the introduction of the raid where all the big yellow bar Cabal are standing.
Yep.
And they had a fire team go through with their Rat Kings. And yeah, you saw it. It melted them.
Yeah, right.
So
okay.
yeah, they're playing around making exotics feel.
I always thought the Rat King should do more than it did.
Yeah,
like, especially given its perk, and anyone that doesn't know what its perk is, it was meant to do more damage the more people in your fire team that had it. So
I can remember
we went for the theory with the dogs in the raid. We were ultimately wrong, and it didn't work at all. But we went with the theory that if we all have Rat King, we're going to do more damage to these dogs. It didn't work at all.
Yeah, so it was underwhelming. Yeah, you only ever ran Rat King sidearm for the reload invis perk.
Yep.
That I always forgot about. So yeah, so as I said, they're working on it. I reckon there's the next DLC comes out in the 8th of May.
Yep.
It's not going to fix the game. They've got more. It's a journey for them, but I'm looking forward to that.
I've got a feeling it's going to add more problems for them.
Yeah, that's why it's been pushed back. It was I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be released in April.
Yeah.
They pushed it back. I think they had to do some work on fixing the game as it was instead of just putting more in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be a wait and see thing. Yeah, as I said, for me, yeah, they still got a way to go. They need to have way to have people invest in the game again.
Yeah.
So that's your strike reward packages. Uh, Honestly, they just need to reintroduce RPG elements to the game.
Yep.
For me, we've touched this several times. They got big, beautiful maps. There's no reason to go look through them.
That's right.
Like every planet, well, it's just jump on your sparrow, get to where you need to be. And I'm not a collector inside these games, but even I, sort of take the Taken King version of that of D1, right? Everybody's favorite version. What was so good about that? Well, you had so much to do inside that Dreadnought. There was so many secrets. There was so much to go look for inside there. You spent weeks.
Yep.
And I'm not a player who will go through and collect every single collectible. But in that I did, because I wanted to build the Book of Sorrow. I wanted to know the story. Ultimately, I wanted to get the Touch of Malice and that yucky brown shader. That was 50. What a letdown that was. But
yep.
Yeah, but as I said, and that's, to me, that's what's missing. They can go on about weapons and this and that, and fucking game mechanics. No, it's that thing that sucked you into the game and kept you there. That's your RPG elements.
Yep.
So it sounds like they've got it. They're doing the summit this weekend. There's a whole swag of the Destiny community. Been flying out to Seattle to go and talk about Destiny.
Yeah, Mylan Games is heading out there.
Yeah, so it wasn't
he is armed with a whole bunch of information that he's got back from his community. He had over 5,000 replies to a survey he put out. That's crazy input. So
yeah, and hats off to Bungie. They haven't just got the the alphas of the community. The big guys.
Right. That's right.
They've got a big section of the community, like from Mylan, Byth, even there's some fairly unknown kind of players that you don't hear about. They're not always out there on the Twitter world and all that sort of stuff. So they've taken a good cut section of the community, and hopefully can start making it great again. Yeah,
he's hoping. Fingers crossed.
All right. That's enough Destiny. Enough Destiny. I'll cry about it all day. All right, so Fortnite mobile platform.
I almost downloaded it yesterday so I could have a say in this. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, so I did do it. Obviously, being mobile, I was only playing over wireless.
Yep.
It was like Iron Bannered Season 1, Destiny 1 lag for me.
Yep.
It was shocking. The lag was terrible. Surprisingly, the controls are good. I thought, we talked about this, that being on the screen, they'd be a bit... it's a pretty good interface, especially on a phone-sized device. I think on a tablet size, a 10-inch device, it'd be awkward.
Yep.
Unless you've got, like, giant hands. And if you're Hagrid, you're probably playing an iPad over a phone. But for me, my size hands, the phone was actually a good size device.
Yep.
So they didn't replicate the control pad on the phone.
Right.
So what you have is that you got your joystick on your left-hand side,
yep.
and on the right-hand side is a whole bunch of toggles. So that's for crouching, jumping, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And essentially, to shoot, you just push your finger on the screen where you want to shoot with whatever weapon you have equipped.
Right.
So it's not unplayable. I believe. You could get quite skilled with it and be quite competitive. Just my connection was poo. But the other one is the iOS version of this game, and all by itself pulled in $6.4 million of revenue in a week.
$6.4 million
in revenue.
Let's take a little moment to reflect on that. $6.4 million.
In 3 weeks, it's pulled in over $15 million, and that is the iOS only version. There is an Android version, plus the console versions. For a free game, it's the first game besides Pokemon Go to kick Candy Crush Saga off the top of the charts.
So what do they have? You've seen it, I've not. What do they have on like a mobile platform that can net them that much money? Is it just cosmetic stuff
cosmetics
again? So the V-Bucks and all that sort of deal?
Yep, exact same format as the console version. It's a beautiful port.
Do they have Save the World on mobile? The PvE content.
I couldn't tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, off the
I
top of my
might, I
head.
might try and look into that.
Yeah, as I said, I downloaded it. I sort of set everything up, jumped in. I've played about 3 games, but as I said, the connections were killing me. Every time I got in a gunfight, yeah, it was terrible.
Yep.
So yeah, but I just like, yeah, just it's crazy. So what you have there is that because then mobile devices are so accessible and your audience base is so accessible, that everybody who's got this is obviously going, oh yeah, I want that spacesuit or whatever cosmetic item they're buying, and it's only $1. Oh, it's only $2.
Yeah.
But you when you increase your user base from 10 million to a couple of billion people, obviously the income streams are so yeah,
It's just
good
pouring in.
people. Yeah, no, I just couldn't believe it. Like, because I knew, I knew they were popular. But when I actually went and had a look, because I'd caught my eye because it was Candy Crush knocked off the top of the charts, and so what the hell? What game's not Candy Crush
It's
out?
the first time in like 10 years or something, isn't it?
Well, Pokemon Go was the last game to push Candy Crush out.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And that was only for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
First week of Pokemon Go, it improved Nintendo stock holdings by 200%. So yeah, I went there and looked. I'm going, you're kidding me, Fortnite? Jeez. And then I went and dug, and it's like, holy shit, the money this game, because Candy Crush will consistently pull in a couple of $1 million a week.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a bit of once again a tangent, a bit of trivia on that, but
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and as I said, if you're out there, have a go playing it on mobile. It's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. And possibly the last thing in Fortnite was Fort Bombs. I haven't played
the Porter Fort. You've not played with it?
I haven't. On the surface, it seems like the best thing in the world for me because I can't build. But your views, because you've played it.
You would absolutely love it. I've probably played more on PlayStation this week than Xbox. With a bunch of dudes who are actually quite good at the game. They don't use them at all.
Yeah.
The usual guys, I guess, we sort of knock around with. It's probably pretty advantageous in the fact that you can throw this thing down. You can sort of, if you push and hold your trigger while it's equipped, you can see the arc on it and where it's going to land and where exactly where it's going to build. But it is an insta fort. It goes.
Can you drop it at your feet?
You can drop it at your feet. You can trap people in it. You can.
Neato.
Yeah. Also, I've seen clips of Ninja. He literally he impulse grenaded himself over to someone, then trapped someone in his own porta fort, bounced them up 2 in, and shotgunned them in the face.
No.
Again, that dude is not human, but
that sounds easy.
Yeah, it was simple, But yeah, it's it adds a really cool element. Like these guys I play with, if they pick one up, they just throw it straight at their feet, which often scares the shit out of me because they throw it right next to me every time. I just run along.
Not on purpose.
Running along, minding my own business, just trying to keep an eye out, trying not to get my head shot, and then boom, right next to me. This thing just instant build.
Alright, so for a scrub builder like me, that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, they're not a bad thing. The trick with them is build it, put some traps around the inside because it's 2 stories of like pretty much tube that goes straight up, and you've got ties in the bottom that bounce you up to the actual ledges.
Yep.
But it comes with its own door. So unless you want to edit that back out, put traps around it and then put yourself a floor once you get to the top.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I don't mind them at all. I think we played. Might have been playing with you actually. We played a match where we were getting close to the pointy end of it. All of a sudden, we look out and there's 3 porta forts all built off each other.
On top of each other.
Yeah, there was like 2 next to each other and then one built off the top of those 2. It was ridiculous.
Nice. Yeah.
But they had a really cool element. I don't think I'm not upset about them. For the most part, like I said, the dudes I've been playing with on PlayStation, they don't even use them. So every time they find one, they pick it up, throw it, and then pick up whatever they had in its place, just so that no one else gets it. But that's about it.
Nice. Did you on Fortnite? Did you watch that YouTube clip posted in your Discord?
I did.
The PUBG
did.
versus YouTube.
That actually,
How clever are those guys?
that actually sent me into a spiral of just like PUBG videos, the PUBG like
Yep.
spoof piss take videos. They are hilarious.
Yeah, the guys that made it. It was just so well done, and so basically the premise of it was like it's two like real life thing. Two guys playing PUBG. You know, two characters run around shotgunning and hitting each other with fry pans in PUBG. And suddenly they walk out their door and they've been transported into the Fortnite universe. So you got these two PUBG characters.
You hear the party bus flying overhead.
Yeah, and the guy riding on the rock, and they're like looking at each other, going, "What the hell?" And so
this thing's been built left, right, and center. Everyone's calling hackers, and
yeah. So it was a good laugh.
Yeah.
All right. So the last big kind of update out in our little world of gaming is the Overwatch event that started on the 11th of April. So I have not played this. So this is just straight from the internet. This is an objective-based 4-player PvE mode called Uprising. It will bring back the narrative-driven player versus player environment mode introduced in Uprising. That must have been an event last year.
Yeah, it was.
It will also feature a new mode titled Retribution. Will take place on a new map, Rialto, which will eventually make its way into the game's map rotation as a payload map after the event. And so essentially the mode is a 4-player co-op mode based on the characters Reaper, McCree, Moira, and Genji as they escape from Talon forces. And alternative, this mode includes an all-hero mode where players can select any of the available characters as well. Cosmetics and skins, blah, blah, blah. Also. So, your thoughts? I haven't played many Overwatch PvE sort of modes. I played, I think, 1 or 2 of the Halloween events.
Yep.
That's sort of just simple horde mode type games.
The Uprising event that they had last year, I played a lot of. I really enjoyed it. That had us with Reinhard, Torbjorn, and I can't think of the other two.
Yep.
Can't think of the other two were. I really enjoyed it. I played more as Torbjorn than anything because you could. It was pretty much
awesome.
it was pretty much fight your way through just a whole bunch of things. Get to the payload and escort that in. Pretty much like the PvP mode of payload. I can't remember the map name now. I can't remember any of the map names now. It's been that long since I played it. But it was a lot of fun, and I think the game needs more of it. Not just a event type thing. I think it needs that like full time, some kind of, even if it's like a rotating like PvE mode where they introduce that. And they bring another one in, or even it's use a different same sort of deal, different map with a different sort of story-driven type deal. The game needs more of it. Like we said, we've spoken about it before. Like the videos and that they've put out are amazing. They need to tell more of that in game. What jumps out at me there straight away is Reaper, McCree, Moira, and Genji trying to escape from Talon forces. I'm pretty sure Reaper is Talon.
Yeah, I know. And McCree. Also, wasn't he hired by Talon?
I believe so.
So, yeah. So as I said,
interesting to see how they're doing that.
Yep.
Is that still going now? You see, what's that? Starts on the 11th.
Yeah, it was April 11th, so it's only So I think they run for a month.
Yeah, right.
Events.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been meaning to have a look. I just don't have enough time.
Yep.
Life busy, etc. So yeah, as I said, like my view. As I said, like I've spent it many times on a game like Overwatch.
Yeah.
For its price point, it should have a PvE mode.
Absolutely.
And
for its developer.
Yeah.
Blizzard. I'm talking directly to you now. You're known for your PvE games. I think Overwatch would absolutely benefit from it.
I've always said if it's for what you get currently with Overwatch, it should be a $50 to $60 game, not a $90 to $100 game.
Yeah.
Because you get it and it's like, oh, I've got PvP. And what else?
Yeah.
What else is in this game? And that's it. So
yeah.
As I said, like anything where you can sort of tell more of a story or add that, it should be better in there.
Yeah.
So, all right. the Q&A. You have any questions? Run
Before
through
you,
yours.
actually, no, it's alright. You go. You do the thing.
Yep.
I'll get to the other bit later.
Yep. All right. So Q&A this week. This is where we collect our questions that come in via Discord, Twitter, and our streams. So if you'd like your question answered, hit us up on our social links, hang out in the streams, and ask away. So been a bit of a quiet couple of weeks as far as questions and whatnot go, but I had one in stream the other night where I had somebody ask, obviously someone who's probably got a thought that they want to start streaming.
Yep.
And what would you, so basically it boiled down to what be to a person who wants to start streaming. Can you say that again? You cut out a little there. Oh, sorry. Yeah. What would your advice be to a person who wants to start streaming? I'll let you lead on this one.
Do it.
Stole my answer, man.
Do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what more I'd say. I guess I'd probably want to know a little more about their motivations behind it. If you want to just share your gaming content with people, do it. Yeah, that's sort of when I answered it. That's pretty much my answer. Is like, do it, man. Have a go. You know, if you need a hand or whatever, or a help to sort of get pointed in the right direction as far as how to do things, you know, you can stream directly off your PlayStation. You can stream directly off your Xbox. I'm pretty sure PlayStation and Xbox both go to Twitch, nice and easy. Your Xbox will go to Mixer. Take your pick. So if you're on Xbox, take your pick. If you're on PlayStation, you're stuck with Twitch. Which is pretty much not a bad thing. So as I said, start low, start cheap, jump on your console, stream straight from your console. Don't worry about OBS. Don't worry about overlays. Get in there. No. Do it. Find out if you enjoy doing it. Yeah, you want a $0 outlay, or as close to as possible, to find out if you even like it. You might do it for the first one, go and no one's coming to watch me, no one's coming to talk to me. I don't really like it. If that's a thing, if that's a thing for you straight off your first stream, it might not be right for you anyway. But you don't know if you don't do that, I guess. Put yourself out there, just do it. And some people find that a stream actually takes away the enjoyment of their gaming as well. So, look, I can tell you right now, there's been plenty of times for me it has. But there's been more times like there's not even a number I could multiply by. There's been more times where it's brought an absolute joy to me. So I'm lucky. I just ignore chat because I forget it's there. Look over and say, holy shit. Yeah, it's not rated me a couple of times, and it's like, Dan. Who's DMing me? Fuck off. Oh, so I've been rated. Oh, nice. Oh, thanks, God. Read your chat now. Yeah, so but all up, mate. As I said, my view on the matter is, get in there as the most low risk, low cost way you can do it, which is straight from your console, and have a go. That way you'll decide. Another thing I can tell you is, don't focus on viewer count. Don't focus on follows. Focus on having fun. Focus on playing the game you're playing, enjoying it. Obviously, that's part of the fun. And just keep some commentary going. Like, even if you're just narrating what you're doing to yourself, like literally, even if it comes down to your thumb movements on a controller, just narrate what you're doing. Is better than people, especially like I'm going to go deeper into it again. This is part of why I dig face cams, because you're seeing the person you're talking to. If you sort of come, like there's many streams that I'll sort of go into where people don't have a camera, but they're also not talking at all. No. You'll say hi and they might see it 30 seconds later. To me, you've got 10 seconds to catch a follower. Yep. You know what I mean? I agree there. If you haven't replied to them in 10 seconds, they're gone. By the time you reply to any time you reply to them after that, they're not there. So if you've got no face cam, it's a personal thing for me. in the fact that if you've got no face cam, it's one thing that you can see is when people are actually looking at chat. When their face cam's there, you can see them sort of look up to the glance to the side a little, or glance down. They might have it on a like a phone or an iPad or whatever. It's just one of those things that helps me keep track of what they're doing, I guess, if they're paying attention or whatever else. Yeah. So just little sort of like visual cues. Just one of those things that sort of
treat every new person that enters your stream, treat them like your new best friend.
Exactly, they're there. Everyone that's there is your best friend. If they come up to be a salty troll, that's it. Just ban them. Don't even respond. Just ban.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we're getting way off track, sort of. Yep. As far as what to do if you want to start a stream, just do it.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah.
Don't focus on views. Don't focus on viewers. Don't focus, or viewer count, I should say. Don't focus on your follow count. Don't focus on any of that sort of stuff. Just focus on the game, having fun, and just communication, just talking.
Yep.
Keep that up, especially if you've got no face cam. That's what I was trying to get with that. If you got no face cam, just concentrate on keeping some kind of narrative going.
Yeah, you gotta keep the viewer engagement going, and like a cam helps that because they can see you. You can pull faces and do bits and pieces and whatever. Yeah. There's no cam.
It's just another level of interaction.
Voice. Yeah. You've only got your voice, so you've got to keep that thing running. All right. Okay, so on to this week's discussion point, which will probably expand a little bit on what we touched on earlier. Yep. I had trouble articulating this, but I'll try and get the point across. All right, so basically it seems there's an expectation, or it actually is real, that every game is expected to ship as virtually everything, meaning that every game released has to have every single friggin' game mode ever invented inside it. And this can be to the detriment of the game.
Cool. Hang on, I'll just touch on that.
As long as it's as long as it's marketed correctly or accordingly, is it okay for a game to be half of what we expect a game to be nowadays? So an example would be a story-driven title like Uncharted 4 just being a pure story game. Does the multiplayer mode that ships with it, does it actually add to the game? Does it add to the experience? Or
I played, for that exact example, I played the multiplayer in Uncharted 4.
Yep.
It wasn't great. I don't think it really added to the game as far as what the game already had. No, I don't think it added to it at all. But it's I know it seems oddly, I don't know if it's oddly worded or oddly put together. It almost seems like two different questions there.
It was a hard idea to articulate. So so as I said, basically we have this expectation. The good one now is that everybody wants to tack a battle royale game mode into the game.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go.
News this week with COD that they're actually going to dump their campaign and add a battle royale mode to the game. And it's like, well, just because it's the new shiny, is it the right decision? There's a lot of COD players that play and enjoy the campaign more than they enjoy the PvP. And then that's a tough one. We touched on Overwatch. Yeah, we touched on Overwatch, which is a pure PvP game. And we go, okay, and I've said much to the detriment of the game, it actually doesn't have a PvE campaign in it. So we have this expectation that we want these games to be everything, but does it actually make the game worse sometimes?
I don't know, I guess in saying that, like, if we're going to use, say, Overwatch as an example, like that PvE event was a really good thing while it was there. So as far as adding one in full time, does it take away from the game itself? It could do. I could see it. You can see it from both sides of the fence, really. The PvP players in it generally. I'm sorry to anyone that actually isn't, but your majority of your community are just salty turds. But for people that it could bring in a whole different side of a community to that game, where people just play the PvE and then enjoy PvP here and there. Is it absolutely needed? I guess it's not. I'm sure the game sales can speak for themselves. 2 years down the line, the game is still selling for $99 in store.
So like for me, like a game like Overwatch, a PvE mode adds to the game.
Yeah.
It allows us to dig in more into the background of the characters and experience them in different ways.
Yeah.
But then from a title like Uncharted 4, the multiplayer mode does absolutely zero. It doesn't expand the universe. It feels like an tacked on thing just to say, okay, well, you've played the game. We want to keep you here. Here's a multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
It wasn't a terrible multiplayer mode. I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah.
My takeaway from the question here, like sort of like I said, it's kind of a two-parter, this one. So we expected to ship with everything. In saying that, you know, a lot of developers these days, you know, there's even murmurings. I mean, I know it's nothing. It's not been said from the devs, but there's, you know, people wanting battle royale in just about every game that they play. You know, like speaking.
No, Candy Crush is getting a battle royale mode, have you?
Yeah, battle royale in Destiny 2. Like, no, we don't all need a battle royale. Leave them where they're at. COD with a battle royale? I don't know, man. This is, you know, I've never ever heard any COD player say I really enjoyed the PvE in Call of Duty.
Yep.
Never.
Yeah.
I played it. I didn't mind it. I never got right through it. Like, let's talk Black Ops 3, right? I played it. I never got through it.
Yeah. For me, that's the only part of the COD games I've played. I hated the PvP.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah,
I've never paid for a COD game either.
Yeah, I've never ever heard a COD player say I really like the PvE in that game.
Because it's renowned for its PvP.
Yeah.
As I said, it just seems to be everybody wants to buy a game nowadays, and it's got every single game mode ever.
Yeah, so you want a PvE mode, you want a PvP mode, you want a battle royale. Yeah. What do you want? You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. And you know, they're talking about the Division, battle royale and the Division, and it's like, does the game need it? Does it make the game better? Yeah, sure, it's a new shiny thing, but what is it actually going to add to the game? You know, games like PUBG and Fortnite, well, that's what they are.
That's right.
That's what they built themselves from, and it works for them. Does it? But that battle royale format, does it just necessarily just instantly translate into other game universes, or is it just is it like a grab to go? Okay, this is the new shiny. We got to follow the market trend.
That's what it seems like, and yeah, the new shiny.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't make the game better. It doesn't make it more enjoyable. But Battle Royale and Uncharted 4, it'd be like, well, what a waste, because I play UC4 for the storyline and the adventure, not multiplayer PvP.
Yeah.
So, you know, they could have added a few extra DLC packs of, you know, little side stories and bring in other characters and dump the entire multiplayer mode.
Exactly.
You know, to be honest, because that's what you sort of play a story-driven campaign. You want to play that story-driven story.
Yeah.
No, as I said, it was a hard idea to articulate, but clearly anyway, because I'm simple. But yeah, as I said, it's just one of those things. Everybody seems to be wanting to bolt everything on, and it waters down the core experience and actually takes resources away from making the core experience the best it could be.
Yeah. So this is to me this is something that let's take Bungie for example. They're looking down the barrel of trying to keep their players happy when a lot of their players don't know what they want.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're jumping up and down, screaming this, that, and the other. You know, they want let's say we want static gun rolls, right? We want set rolls on weapons. They got that, and then you get this meta that emerges from it, and we don't want this meta. You know what I mean? Like, well, this is what you wanted. This is what you got. You know, sometimes the player doesn't know what they want. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to leave it in the hands of the developer to make the game that you want.
And what a lot of you see happens out of that is that you have, obviously there's great players out there, and they have an idea.
Yeah.
And they're entitled to their opinions, but then other people jump on top of that idea, but they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the faster TTK in Destiny is once again, it's one of those things. And, you know, the top tier PvP players, they want a faster TTK because that increases the skill gap.
Yeah.
You know? So, and that's what they, currently with a slower TTK, that skill gap is a lot smaller because of the slow time to kill. So they come out and they say, okay, well, we'd like to see fast. And then everybody's like, yeah, we want faster TTK, but they actually don't know what it means. What it means for the game, what it means for the experience. And yeah, once again, it could be one of those things. Yeah, suddenly it does make it better, or shit, no, yuck. It's just like playing COD. Yeah, we just got another COD derivative PvP mode. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot. A person, an influencer will say something and everybody jumps on board, but they don't really know what they're talking about. The guy that said it knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But the 10,000 followers don't necessarily understand it and understand the flow on of it. So once again, a tangent from the tangent, but good stuff.
That's what we do. That's what we're doing today. It's all good.
Yeah, the tangent cast.
Yep.
All right. So I think I think that was a nice little chat about things.
Yep.
So man, what are you looking forward to?
All right. Now I didn't mention it. I didn't mention it earlier. You did. I didn't follow through on it. God of War. You've not played it yet.
Yep.
It dropped yesterday, right? So we are recording on the 21st right now. It dropped on the 20th of April. I played it last night. You haven't had a chance to play it yet?
No. I was watching documentaries.
Oh dear Lord, are you in for something amazing?
Sweet.
You were saying earlier with Hellblade, you have to play it with a good set of headphones. Yep. Same with this. God of War. Or was it? I ran into the World Serpent last night. That scene alone. If you don't have a good headset, make sure you got a good home stereo that you're playing it through. Dear Lord, that the sound, the audio is amazing. The gameplay is awesome. The graphics are amazing. They cut between the cutscenes and the actual gameplay seamlessly. It's really good. Really good. If you haven't got it yet, if you're sitting on the fence about going to get it, hop down, go buy it right now. Yeah. Get off the fence. Yeah, get off the fence. Go get it. If you're on Xbox, sorry.
Yeah,
unlucky.
Just watch streams.
Yeah, watch. Come watch me.
All right. All right. So yeah, there's that one. We have the Destiny 2 expansion on the 8th of May. That's on my radar.
Yep.
And we have a Dark Souls remaster on the way. The OG Dark Souls on May 25th. So praise the sun there.
Yep.
You'll be getting that one, won't you?
Crickets.
Yeah.
I'll just leave you hanging there. No, I will not.
Nah. So is anything else out there and you're waiting for?
I'm waiting for later on down the line. I can't remember the dates. If there even actually is dates. Detroit Become Human. That is on my radar. That is one.
A Quantic Dream game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever played any of their games?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, man, you're in for a treat. They're good games. They're a good development team. Very, very different from anything you've probably played.
Yeah.
As far as pacing, but yeah, unbelievable stories and everything else hidden inside those games.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go back and play Beyond Two Souls,
it
was one of the highlights of that year. I played it on PS3. So yeah, if you can, I don't know if it's been remastered or opportunity. Beyond Two Souls.
Yep.
That'll give you a good taste of how they build their games.
Nice.
So yeah, that one was a girl, played the part of a girl, and she has an entity living inside her.
I think I've seen streams of that.
It's not always nice.
Yeah.
And you get to play. You can actually co-op. Someone else can be the entity.
Yeah. Right.
So you take control of the entity to do bits of the game, and it's like this psionic force.
Yep.
That lives inside her, and the main driver of the story is her finding out, who she is, what the entity is.
Is that the main protagonist? Is she played by or in the likeness of Ellen Page? Yeah. Yeah,
the girl from
Juno.
Okay.
Yep. I have seen parts of it. Yep.
Yeah. So it was a really good game. The ending kind of knocks you for a six. So
yep.
I won't ruin it. So yeah, definitely, if you have an opportunity, try that game out, and that'll give you a good taste of how Quantic Dream make their games, how they drive their narratives, and everything else. So
Yeah,
All
nice.
right. I think that's about it for me.
That's about a wrap, I think.
All right. So where can we find you?
Where can we find me? You'll find me on Mixer, Static Oz. You'll find me on Instagram, Static Oz. You'll find me on Twitter at Static Oz. Static Oz everywhere except for Xbox, where I'm Static Oz Gamer because someone who's not me got Static Oz.
Yeah.
What about you,
me? I might have just sold it. I might have sold it too. I'm going to hold the gamer tag.
Hold it
Alright.
for ransom.
Yeah. Okay. You can find me on Mixer and Dawn of the Dan, on Instagram at Dawn of the Dan, and Twitter at Cleve Daniel. So,
Yes. If you do want to send us emails, guys, for any Q&A type stuff or any discussion points that you want to hear us talk about, 2leftthumbspod@gmail.com is where you can send all that business. Otherwise, just hit us up on all our social links. You'll find them in the comments below on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, you find them in the comments below or in the show notes on whatever device, whatever app you are using for your podcast.
all right. And with that, go out there and play some games, people.
Go and
Have
get
fun.
it. Enjoy.
Love each other. Be nice.
Be nice.
And with that, we're out. See ya.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Catch up.